Totality is when the Earth, the Moon and the Sun all align, but the Moon is right in between the Earth and the Sun. Essentially, the Moon is, I think it's about 300,000 kilometers away from Earth. The Sun is, I think it could be 8 million kilometers away. So it literally just blocks out the light of the Sun. That's it. I officially started photography in 2003, but that was mainly taking photos of my daughter. What happened was in 2016, I got a tripod the previous Christmas and I went out to take some photos of the city. So it would have been August 2016 was kind of the beginning of my cityscape, landscape photography journey. When I started photography, there was so many street photographers here in Dublin who would go out and take photos of the Banker's Pub or let's say the Temple Bar, and they had their style, and I was like, do you know what? I really like that. I think that looks nice. It paints Dublin in such a nice light. You know, the pictures were so premium. I would have just started doing street photography because they inspired me. I just know it as the seafront at Clontarf, and it would be a place that I would have seen other people taking photos of whilst I was a street photographer. And when you're a street photographer, it's a different type of photography. You're in and around the streets, there's people, there's pubs and clubs and everything like that. And for many years, I was literally just shooting that particular style of photography, which was the Halfpenny Bridge, Temple Bar, Dame Lane, all of these places. This particular location is where we're going right now, is the place where it all kind of started for me. The love for shooting the moon, or even I suppose that then transcended over to the sun as well, because it's the passion that I have inside me that I can't even explain. It's the one type of photography that really grabbed a hold of me, and the one that I love the most. I suppose what I was trying to do was, I was inspired by these guys who had their style, but I wanted to have my own style that people could recognize and they could see, do you know what? Before I even look at who posted that, I know it was Fred. So that's where it all began. And that was where street and urban architecture kind of all began. This is the spot. This is the Clontarf seafront. When I arrived here, this was a place that I'd never really come before, because usually I'm just shooting in the streets of Dublin. But when you get here, it's just so open and vast, and you have Poolbeg, you have the chimneys, and then you've got the lighthouse out here. And on that night in question, the lighthouse was the focus. So when I arrived, the guys had their camera set up with their big telephoto zoom lenses. I was so lucky to get a chance to use one of those. When I use the lens and I see the compression that it was able to provide, how is it possible that the moon looked so big compared to the lighthouse? It looked incredible, it looked crazy. I'd never seen anything like it before in my life. And then I see this moon, which is massive compared to the size of the lighthouse. And I feel like it was from that moment that inside me, that was where my photography style was beginning to change. And it all kind of just started here. It was literally just from this place, just on the seafront in Clontarf. It's a place that I come to quite regular, and it all just started from that day. So it's such a special place. It means a lot to me to be here. Back in November, I was just kind of scrolling through Instagram, and I seen a photograph it was like a collage of Totality images, and I just seen it. I was like, oh my God, I need to get this. This is like a shot that I want for myself. I want to be able to go and do this myself. So I started doing research into it. I looked into it and I was like, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? So it's like, right, the next one is next year. It's in North America. It's named the Great North American Eclipse. I was like, wow, I can travel to the States. I can make it happen. That was probably the beginning for me. My style today really incorporate a lot of celestial objects, so the sun, moon and stars. That's where it's evolved into. I've wanted to do this ever since I seen that photo back in November. And obviously it's March now and I'm literally one click away. Like, I just have to press enter. I can't believe I'm actually going to Dallas, of all places to go to. Oh my God. It's done. I'm going to the US. Breakfast time. So yeah, what are we having, lads?
You're the chef.
Fred Ramsey in the house. Gonna have a nice American Irish breakfast. So let's do this. The decision on where to travel to in the US was really down to a lot of things. One for me was, what is the weather like in that location at that time of year? So I had a look through a lot of like weather history, and Texas and Dallas specifically was the best location because it would have had the least amount of cloud. And in order to see totality, you obviously need either no or minimal cloud. So that was, the decision was made solely on weather.
We may see a tiny bit of it across South.
Anthony Lynch and Jay Griffin, they came with me, and it was great to have them there because it meant that I didn't have to do it all alone, and it was so nice to have them there with me.
Will you just show us Dallas, please? I'm stressed out here. Come on.
For the rest of that day, the whole focus was obviously on the next day. So it was like, okay, what do we need to do? Where are we going to go? Because we have seen these reports on the news that there's 70% chance of cloud cover, 80% chance of cloud cover, and then the news are telling us that there's going to be storms with hail the size of limes. What do we do now? We've traveled all this way to the US. We have to find clear skies.
Severe storms on Monday. We know a lot of people are going to be out traveling for the eclipse, so just be weather aware. Make sure you got your Weather Nation app so you can follow along with the storms, and if there's an alert issue for your area.
Ian Carruthers was like such an amazing help for us. Like we probably couldn't have done it without him.
In the area where I'm kicking, there is hills and stuff, so you have to factor that in.
Yeah.
And moved along to 11 a.m, 12 p.m. totality time. So high clouds, looking good around that area. Still in Texas.
So we had a number of calls then with Ian about the weather, saying, look, help us, like, where do we go? Can you predict in any way what's the best location to be in the US that's, say, within a 6-hour drive that we could get to? We had this small little window in the middle where the prediction was, this is the place to go.
That's most of like Arkansas.
Arkansas, okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, Arkansas, yeah. So that's most of that.
And we're not experienced at knowing where to go. Like, we don't know the area, we don't know which way the road's going to lead. So that's the biggest fear, and I think that's the key to us getting back safe tomorrow before it all kind of kicks off. So, like, if the weather is too bad, we'll just leave it. Like, just even leave the eclipse, do you know? Because our lives aren't worth a photograph.
When we see this purple coloring, that represents the spots that could be getting impacted by 2-inch diameter hail or larger. That means lime-sized hail. So imagine.
We had to decide. We had a couple of locations that we could have went to, but Mena, Arkansas ended up being that location.
Oh, God almighty.
On the morning of the eclipse, we left Dallas at about 4 a.m. We're buzzing because we knew that this was the day, but we were so nervous because we were like, it's going to be cloudy, there's storms, there's supercells forming, there's tornadoes, there's lightning, there's hail the size of limes, there's all of these like things that are going to potentially ruin the whole opportunity, and we just set out on our way. But as soon as we got there, we could see it was like 26, 27 degrees. It was blue skies. There was wispy clouds there, but there was nothing major. And we were like, right, we're in the right place. The whole process of the eclipse was like it feels like a blur now, because at the moment was the nerves that I had, making sure that I had all my camera settings correct. I had my solar filter on, for example. I had to make sure that my focus was correct. I had to make sure that I was tracking it correctly. There was a lot of nerves, but the level of excitement from everyone was just incredible, because we knew it was coming. You can feel the darkness coming. You can feel the darkness coming now, right? It's 2.5 hours in total, the whole eclipse. Wow. But the main part is only 4.5 minutes. That's totality. And then I suppose the key parts are actually probably only seconds before and after. So we're talking 20 seconds. That 20 seconds before and after totality is so important, because they are the key shots. If you blink, you could miss them. Because we're in the middle of the eclipse, it was like, I was just embracing it. I was looking at it going, this is crazy. Like literally just looking up going, wow. Within the totality period, you can take off your safety glasses and you can look directly at it. And it just looks like a black sun. It's so surreal.
Now look at the sunset. Red glow all around.
Wow. And all you can hear everywhere from anyone that's in the area is, wow. You know, deep breaths, and it's just like, it was so uplifting. When it had all ended, like when the totality stage had completely ended, and I had a chance then to look back over the images, I was just like, that's why I came here. And it was just a surreal moment. Like me and the two lads, Anto and Jay, at one point we all just hugged each other. But it was just like, lads, we did it. We had all of these obstacles that were against us with the weather, and you know, we have to drive and we don't know the roads, and there's so many million things that could have went wrong, and we got here. We found exactly what we were looking for. Absolutely incredible. Incredible. Absolutely. Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure it was. My God. Have a look at this photo. If I wanted, I'd probably go to Australia or travel anywhere in the world now to see it, because it was such a magical experience, and I want to bring people with me. I want people to come with me. I want my friends and family to see it, because until you actually see it, it's hard to explain, because it was so magical and surreal. One of the most special moments in my life. It's such a short period of time. To be able to like witness this magical alignment in person with the naked eye, like nothing beats that.
Did everyone's camera work?
Yes.
Seeking beyond where